Call hello Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach in Ruel. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. The rest of the hopeful elect. To you all I say Shalom. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. And as always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. Alright, the name of this one's going to be No Pity for You Birds. No pity for you birds, man. Alright? Not feeling sorry for you N-dubs, man. Whether you North or Southern Kingdom. You know what I mean? I'm going to go straight to it, to this article on Newsbreak. Shout out to the brother Lahab, the head of our camp, that put this article, and I found it very, very interesting. Because, I was, obviously born and raised in a Northern Kingdom household, Simeon. And I seen this firsthand, these things, you know what I'm saying? Not so much with the eye color, right, as we're about to get into, but that has come up too, But as far as like dyeing of the hair, certain products that you could put on, like as far as makeup go, to lighten the skin and shit like that, you know what I mean? Straightening the hair, I don't know if I mentioned that one. I grew up seeing that all the time, instead of them embracing their curly hairs and their natural skin tones, balancing it out by eating healthy and applying natural stuff. All they do is put all these chemicals that are made by our enemies, man, basically. But let's get into this article real quick. The article is by by Rebecca Harding. All right, it was published a few days ago. It's not really a title, but I guess the introduction to the whole article reads, I am in excruciating pain. California woman pays $13,000 for eye color change surgery. Now she's warning others against it. Okay, it was by Rebecca Harding. It goes on to say, and I'm gonna read as much as I can and jump around a little bit. It says, a California woman opts for a risky eye color changing surgery. Now that word ops goes into choosing of different option, all right? Different options. So she had options and she chose a risky eye color changing surgery to brighten her dark brown eyes to a lighter shade. She instantly regrets the procedure after seeing the results and raises red flags about potential complications. Potential complications that I know were brought up to her before the doctor said anything, man. Anyways, it says, in a video with over 600,000 views, TikToker Jasmine Hill says the unnamed doctor performed the procedure on one eye and handed her a mirror to see how it looked. She immediately noticed that the color was not the light brown she requested. Instead, the eye appeared a blue and green color. However, she still received the procedure on the other eye. Hill says she soon began experiencing further complications beyond being dissatisfied with the look of her eye. And I bet you she was linking both dissatisfaction. She wasn't satisfied. I bet you she was feeling not satisfied with or connecting how she was feeling about the pain with how basically the color went wrong. You know what I'm saying? And when it was really just the procedure itself. The eye color was just to emphasize how stupid you was. For getting it. But it says, she goes on to say, I could be in the house trying to watch TV and it was torture. I could have on the darkest shades, and sorry, Akim, I'm reading like this because I'm in the car driving and reading this. But it says, I could have on the darkest shades and the smallest amount of light that would hit was just excruciating discomfort. She explains. She also began experiencing vision problems. Go figure, huh? You don't say. Hill receives consultation from 4 eye doctors who she say all told her they couldn't improve her symptoms. So she decided to hire a lawyer, as if the lawyer is going to improve her symptoms, man. She's always just looking for a payout after making her mistake, taking all kind of, just admitting like, yo, I was fucked up for doing this shit. You know what I mean? Praying to the Lord to maybe have it reversed if that's possible, or at the very least, for it to heal correct, right, and take out those discomfort, and pray to the Lord don't take that vision from you, man. But anywho, it goes on to say, the article asks a question. It says, is she taking legal action after the eye color surgery? It says, around 4 weeks after hiring her lawyer, she received a cease and desist via email from the doctor who performed the surgery. Hill made previous TikToks explaining her symptoms as they appeared. Right? The cease and desist says 13 patients to date have canceled their procedure, citing that the reason is Jasmine's video that named Dr. Blah Blah Blah, as she put it, because she never named the dude. She says, reading the email, the letter claims that Hill's videos has cost them around $156,000 in damages from lost business. She says that her lawyer met with the doctor's lawyer to find a common ground for a settlement agreement. Ultimately, they agree that a $14,000 refund would suffice. Right? However, the settlement offer comes with stipulations. So she took the 14 G's. She took the money back, right? The refund, as if that's gonna be the end of all that, when you really probably should have been asking for more, because you're gonna need medications and shit, because obviously she's gonna take medication. She ain't gonna do no natural healing, if she didn't leave her natural eye color that the Lord gave her, blessed her with, which might I add is not a recessive gene, man. Having dark brown eye, having dark color eyes and dark skin and dark color hair, that shows a good gene, man, for lack of another way of putting it, man. But all I know is that blonde hair, blue eyes, that's a recessive gene that causes that, okay? And this is what our people are what's the word, envying, man, and coveting after. All right, actually, since I said that, let's bring this one out real quick. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 31, it says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Okay, don't envy our oppressor, and don't choose none of his ways. What is his ways? Changing his eye color? I mean, they already have a certain eye color, but they have the ability to for those procedures to change your eye color and whatnot. You know what I mean? And our people envy Esau so much so that they want to imitate them. They want to look like them. It's crazy, man. The Stockholm syndrome is beyond repair, man. Not only do you love your oppressor, but you want to be like him too. At any cost, at the cost of going at the risk of losing your eyesight permanently. All right. It says Proverbs 31 and 3 and 31, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways, for the froward is an abomination to Yahweh, but his secret is with the righteous, man. Right? And what's the secret? This truth and this understanding, man. And understanding that we're better than these people, man. We don't need to be envying these people. The Lord is about to do away with these people. None of their attributes is going to be around after that, man. Their weapons is going to be destroyed. Their philosophies are gonna be put out all over the earth. Righteousness is gonna cover the earth, man. Everywhere. All right. I mean, yeah, nations are still gonna be getting out of line sometimes, but that's what we're gonna be in there ruling and regulating. Violating anybody that violates the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. Back to the article. Let me see. It says. However, the settlement offer comes with stipulations. Hill cannot mention the doctor's name, business name, manufacturer of the pigment used, or city or state where the surgery was performed, which is kind of fucked up because You know, why you're not being transparent, man, as a business owner? The doctor later sends an addendum to the settlement. He requests she remove all of her videos on the procedure, even if they don't mention him. He also requests the removal of unrelated videos that show her location. She captions the video, legal disclaimer, everything said in this video is my opinion based off of my personal experience, which makes it not even illegal what she did, because this is why Yelp and Google, I forget where you can leave reviews and shit like that, man. Businesses want reviews, you know. I mean, obviously they want good reviews, but this is exactly what she did. You know, she went online, you know what I'm saying, as many women do, and put all their fucking business out there. But the point is, she went online and she just basically said, you know, mentioned her experience and the results of her experience. You know what I mean? So I don't see how this is wrong, you know. Or that, you know, that I can see how it could be damaging, you know, to him, to the business. But you know, I believe she has the right to do that. It says, while Hill does not directly name the doctor in the video, she likes a comment suggesting that the doctor is TikTok famous Dr. Brian Boxer Walcher. The Mary Sue reached out to Walcher for further comments, right? So she liked the comment that someone said, you know, is it this person? And she liked that comment. So it's known. I mean, it's in this article. Everybody knows, right? But again, I don't see me personally, I don't see anything wrong. Brothers can correct me on that. I don't see anything wrong with sharing your experience after you go to a restaurant, a doctor, or eye doctor, whatever, you know? Because if it was a lie, if she was making these things up, then I see, you know what I mean? I could see how that is defamation and all that other shit, but I don't see nothing wrong with it. Many commenters empathize with Hill's experience, obviously, and I bet you they're all females, encouraging her to seek a legal opinion before taking the settlement. Another one wrote, this kind of NDA costs millions, not just a refund. They better try again. You need a better lawyer, one says, right? So this sounds like women, man. Because men are looking at this shit like, why even do that in the first place? Because she didn't even look that bad. And the dark brown and her dark eyes, her brown eyes look pretty. You know what I mean? She has nice big eyes, man. You know, and you know, women just overthink their so-called beauty, man. You know. Anyways, another remark says, cease and desist is a scare tactic. Carry on, right? Not take accountability. Not do that. Don't do that shit again. Not, you know, yeah, keep bringing out awareness so women won't have to be doing this type of shit, or anybody for that matter. None of that. It's just encouraging her to, like, not accept her basically her consequences, but just, you know, get paid for it. You know, which obviously, I mean, you know, if there was some type of error being done and that's why she's going through those pain, then yeah, you know, you should definitely seek more money, because you're gonna need possible therapy, medication, and whatnot. You know, who knows? You know what I'm saying? 14 G's is not gonna cover it though. You know. As a matter of fact, that even insurance companies might not, because that's cosmetic. You did that to yourself. You know, that wasn't something that you absolutely needed. Like, it says, you know, others agree that the eye color changing surgery isn't worth the risk. There we go. According to the American Academy of Ophthalmology, most methods of eye color changing surgery carry the risk of eye infection, vision loss, and inflammation. Oh fucking dog! Like you putting foreign contaminants, chemicals in your eye. Like there has to be a reaction, right, for that action. Somebody else wrote, I'm so sorry for everything you're going through. I went through the medical malpractice stuff. It didn't end in my favor. The stress nearly took me out. Yo, listen, judgment, man. It's judgment. You know, I'll leave it at that, man. Yeah, that was only a couple more stupid comments, but yeah, man. These fucking women, man. I'll be bugging the fuck out, man, and men too. You know what I mean? Because I guarantee you this person has men and women in her life that would probably try to, you know, kick some common sense into her. But common sense isn't that common these days, you know what I mean? And people these days don't even want you to, they don't want to feel like you're telling them what to do, man. Koholo Yahao Bashim Yao Shah, got a 144 in front of me, from right to left. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into some scriptures. I got this scripture over here, 2 Timothy. And these scriptures should be, you know what I mean, the common ones, man, for situations like this, man. You know, to kick some sense into you, man, spiritual sense. It says 2 Timothy chapter 3, I'll start at 1. It says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, dangerous times shall come, right? For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. I guarantee you, one of her parents probably told the child, you don't need to do that. You know what I mean? Or whoever is a parent figure in her life. You don't need to be doing that. That's too risky. You already have a nice eye color. The Lord chose that one for you. You know how our people is, man. You know how Jake is, especially older folks. They try to encourage you, man, to especially when it's adults, because you know parents don't really, or older folks don't really want to be pushing it too much, because they don't want to piss the person off, because that's a grown-ass person making that choice, right? But I'm just saying, or emphasizing on the fact that she should have definitely had people talking to her and telling her that shit wasn't worth it. But she had made her mind up, man, and you know what I'm saying? She's basking in her in the glory of her option, man, or her choice, man. It says, hold on, let me park right over here real quick. Verse 2 says, for men, I already read that one, but I'll read it over. Salakia Akim, this driving around, throwing me off. I'll park right over here, finish this off. It says, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, right? That's unholy. That's being unset apart, man. You're still of the world, basically. If you're thinking of doing that, man. Anybody in this truth thinking of changing themselves up some way, somehow, cosmetically, man. That's worldly shit. And this vessel is garbage, man. This is gonna, in a twinkling of an eye, man, the Lord's gonna do away with these bodies, man. Lord's willing, we're part of that first go round, man. Okay? And the scriptures clearly tell you he's gonna beautify his people. You can't do nothing to yourself right now, man, without risking health, like this dumbass over here, man. It says, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, right? Who are those that are good, man? The men and women that this truth was given to, man, and in the men, starting with the men of the Lord, man, the judges, man, you know, the ones that are out there crying and sighing for all the abominations that are being done in the midst of of Babylon, man. All right, the men of the Lord, his prophets, all right, because they despise us when we talk to them about this, man. I guarantee there's somebody that's listening that you know, they might not like this, man, because they don't like rebuke, man. Our people just want to be in their own order, you know, where they want to rely on what they think is how they should live their life, man. You know, it says, verse 4, traitors, heady, high-minded. These women are high-minded, man. They think that they got it figured out, and you can't tell them nothing. And that was by they were trained, a lot of them, since they were young, indirectly, man. You know, when a man tells you what to do, don't even listen to him. When somebody else is trying to tell you or give you advice, don't even listen to them. Do what you want to do, basically. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. For this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. Now, you know, the reason I brought that out is because there's men and women that act like all those things that I just finished mentioning, and she's one of them too. You know, this chick don't look like she's in the truth, obviously. You know, so she has to be heady. You know what I'm saying? High-minded. You know, lovers of themselves. Women love themselves. Women worship themselves, man. I saw a woman the other day talking about she's on her 3rd week of her birthday or some shit. Her whole month is her birthday. You know what I mean? And then she's talking about the astral projection, not astral projection, her sign, her astral sign, whatever the fuck. I pay no attention to that shit. But yeah, you know, it's just batshit crazy, man. Going online, just talking a bunch of stupid nonsense, you know? This is Jeremiah 10:2. It says, Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen. Another scripture that's telling you not to covet after what the oppressor has, man. Not to envy him. Envy nothing that he does. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the ways of the heathen, these unbelievers, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, man. All right, but the point is not, okay, to learn the ways of these unbelievers, okay? These heathens, man. Ecclesiasticus 25:24, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die, okay? Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to guide abroad. Because this is what happens. They go and they try to get BBLs, right? Because they talk and listen to other women that either got it or know someone that did get it, and they're doing well, and it was good for them. But that's them, because they was probably more disciplined and worked and eliminated certain things or whatever. Not justifying that BBL surgery or none of that, but there's people that not only alter their body, but they'll change the way they eat and exercise and all that, you know. And that's why sometimes it looks like it works for some people, and others just go through fucking pain and their ass rots. And then you see disgusting pictures online of before and after women that use BBLs, man, and BBLs gone wrong and all this other shit, man. You know, my aunt, when I was like about, man, I want to say like 10, 11, she was about 18, right? This is years ago. She passed, man, because she did surgery. She was transferring some fat from one part of her body to another. I don't know if it was from her arms to her butt or vice versa, or what the hell was going on. All I know is that, she had complications with the anesthesia person, the anesthetic technician or whatever the fuck they call them. Either apply too much anesthesia or too little, or what the hell happened, but she turned into a vegetable, man. The Lord judged her ass right there and then, and it was very painful, man, for everybody in my family. She was the youngest daughter, the youngest sister, and I remember that like it was yesterday, man. My Aunt Jamie, man, so hey, man, the Lord's judging this person with these excruciating pain that she's talking about, man, and even threw some pun in there, or just had some fun with her by giving her a whole nother color. And then they even Dr. Shoulder, like, yo, like, this is how it's coming out so far. You want to proceed? And she still got it. Maybe she didn't want 2 different eye colors. I don't know, man. Because then there was even talk about reversing it. But somebody said, one of the comments that I didn't read, somebody has said that those things are like almost impossible to reverse, man. Obviously, because that's of the Lord, man. The body, the way the body develops, and the secrets that these scientists, these doctors don't even know about. It belongs to the Lord, man. How the babies develop in the body, they're still trying to figure out stem cell research and all. They don't know nothing, man. The scriptures tell you that they're physicians of no fucking value, man, whatsoever. And then it tells you not to trust your enemy. And you go to your enemy for anything that has to do with procedures, medical procedures. You go and to your enemy to change your eye color, even though they tell you that there's a huge risk, but it costs $14,000, it costs $13,000. We can make a payment plan and this, that, the third, and the convenience convinces people. Let's get a couple more scriptures and end off. Actually, one more. Proverbs 9:13. A foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing, right? So a loud ass woman, you know, because I bet you when they was talking to her and trying to convince her, she was probably being, I want to hear it, I want to just do this. Or maybe she didn't. Maybe she was soft-spoken. You know what I mean? No matter what, she knows nothing. She's simple and she knows nothing. And the end result of that procedure and what she's going through through is proof of all that, man. Okay? So, you know, we got to rely on the Lord. We got to take what this truth has taught us, you know, and apply it, man. That's called wisdom. When you apply this knowledge, you know, don't trust your enemies. Don't make any cuts in your body, man. Obviously, you know, I'm not a doctor, but their physicians of no value. So you got to go with what the Spirit is telling you. Obviously, if you got, you know, it's an emergency, you got an open wound, you know, you break a bone or something, you know, obviously you go to somebody that's a professional in that. Many times all these doctors and whatnot, but man, we're in the valley of shadow of death, man. And those hospitals, man, listen, I don't even like going to hospital. I get a really bad demonic vibe every time I go in any hospital, man. And it's not only because they're all eating mice, but it's because of the things that go on in these hospitals, you know. They have shopping lists, organ shopping lists, you know what I mean? If you fit a certain criteria and you go over there for a cough, you might not fucking come out, because they'll inject you with some shit and tell your family that you're brain dead. You know what I'm saying? Doctors are coming out telling you these things, man. Lord's will, I'll make a lesson on that next. All right? You can't trust these motherfuckers for shit, man. I pray to the Lord every day to keep me and keep my family, keep the brothers, right? From anything, from cuts to fucking stubbing a toe, all of that, man. Anything and everything to avoid these so-called medical professionals, man. So I pray this lesson was edifying. In closing, I want to give all honors and praises to our power, the Israelite power, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim V'Kakodash.